This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, Kumar.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So we'll start now. So today we will discuss the gather step. So one of the steps from routing is a gather here. So we use the gather in the from. So what is the main objective of to use the gather? Okay, and on what situations we use this gather and how to configure. Okay, these things we'll see it now. So as you are seeing here, the gather is nothing but to combining the messages, okay, in this to make it as a single message and to process into further steps to send it to the next steps in the iflow. Okay. But if you see the join is also does the same thing, right? It is also combine the message. Then what exactly the difference between these two, join and gather? So join will just combine the branches, okay? So that means whatever the branches it is receiving, it just combining, okay? As like multicasting. In the multicasting, what it will do? Okay, I will discuss the here multicasting also. Multicasting will do basically to make a new branch. Okay, so whatever the message comes in the pipeline, the same message will be splitted, not splitted. The same message will be goes into the different branches. Okay, so that you can do it through multicasting. Okay, same way on the other hand, once you wanted to connect into the single branch, to connect into the combining, then we use the join. Okay, so multicasting is for the just creating number of branches, and at the join it is joining means closing those branches into one. Okay, that is nothing but a join. But when it comes to the gather step, in the gather it will create and generate the aggregation message. Aggregation message means in the proper format, where it start with XML version, the XML tags, and it will goes into it will it will generate the XML structure like messages one, messages two, you know, in that way. So that when it goes to the next step, then the step then it will understand easily that it is in the XML tree. Okay, so of course, um, there are types of format that those options also available in Gather, but the objective of the Gather is to combine the messages with the different formats or the same format. Okay, but when it comes to the join will not uh, will not generate any aggregation algorithm, or will not prepare any XML structure, or will not do any additional things. It is just combining those uh, messages into one message uh, by combining the branches. For example, you are combining three branches, and whatever the data three comes, that become a one branch, right? Then it comes to the one branch. If you are combining the two branches, okay, then it combining into the one branch. Okay, so the number of branches that you are combining by using the join condition, okay, so those messages will be combining into that. Okay. When it comes to the gather, there is a configuration. Okay, so the configuration that you can see here, incoming format. Incoming format means if the format is a plain text, okay, and you wanted to use a combine that concatenate, then the plain text will be concatenated one by one. Okay, branch A, next branch B, next branch C. If it is a different format, okay, so there is an option to combine. If it is the same format, then you have two options. One is combine and combine at X path. X path means at what path you wanted to combine. And the other option combine means you just simply combine when I choose this is same format. Okay, so let's use this high flow. So now when it comes to the join, join doesn't have any configuration. You just use you just use you just use to joining the branches. Okay, doesn't have any configuration. In the same way, when you're using the multicasting, what is the use of multicasting? What is the use of multicasting? Any idea? I mean, what is the main objective to use multicasting? Yeah, yeah. Send it to the different branches, right? So here I have one message here. Okay, so the message is like this. Here there is a student information. Okay, I have this message. I wanted to send into the same message. I want to send it to the different branches, branch A, branch 2, like that. So when I send into the different branches, how do I send? Because the pipeline will, you can drag the connector, you can drag the connector, from one step to another one. But I want to create a multiple branches, so that I have to use in further steps the data. I want to process the data for that step. The purpose I wanted to create multiple branches. Okay, so there we can use this multicasting. Go to routing, then you say multicast. Under the multicast, you can see there are two types here: sequential multicasting and parallel multicasting. Sequential multicasting means uh, the data will be goes into first branch A. The branch A is finished, then it will goes to the branch B. Okay, unless it will not finish in branch A, it will not go to branch B. Okay, so it goes from the branch A to branch B like that. That is called sequential multicasting. When it comes to the parallel multicasting, all the data will goes on the same parallelly, it will goes to the branches. Okay, it will not be dependent like a first branch will complete, then second branch. It will not go like that. It will go branch A, branch B parallelly. Okay, so here I have taken into the parallel branch. Okay, so in the parallel multicasting, you don't see any configuration here, just to put the parallel. So the way the message comes, here we have, as of now, here we have two branches. Let's say 6 branches are there. there are 6 branches. Okay, so those 6 branches will go in the same direction parallelly. Okay. If you use, let's say for example, if you use sequential multicasting. Okay, use sequential multicasting. So in the sequential multicasting, you have a small configuration here. So in the small configuration, you can specify branch 1 and branch 2, okay, in the sequential order. For example, you wanted to process branch 2 first, then you just click on move up. So the branch 2 will be maintained in the 1 as a sequence, and in the number 2 place, the branch 1 will process. So it will goes in sequential order. That is why it is in a sequential multicasting. Okay. This is about um, just multicasting. Now let's look into this multicasting step by using the gather. Okay. So in the um, every step, if you see every step, there is a general tab, right? So in the general tab, you just name the purpose of that step, why you are using that, so that in the going, I mean, you'll easily understand by looking at the flow. You can easily understand what is it use of that maintaining that particular step. For example, here they write define. Define means so they're defining something in this. So like that you can understand. So now in the message body, just updated a message here. Okay, so that will goes into the 2 branches. Okay, branch 1 and branch 2. So in the branch 1, what we are doing, you can take in the content modifier. Content modifier. In the content modifier, what we are saying is what will happen when we update like this. What is the output we can expect from this step? Yeah, when we update like this, uh, what message will go to the next step? So when it comes to here, what step will go? Hmm?
Everything in the body along with
I'm sorry.
everything that's in the previous in the content modifier 2 body.
Yeah, and also the
Previous
message that we, yeah. So the previous message is this one. Okay. So in the previous message we have ID number 1 and ID number 12. Okay. So after that, what we are saying here in the content modifier, we are saying dollar in dot body. So dollar in dot body means the incoming message of the body. So the incoming message of the body is this one. Okay. So this will be there. Then we are adding one more element here. So this will is also added. So when it goes to the when it goes to the what do you call, when it goes to the next step, it will goes this message. Okay, it will goes this message. Then here, so we have next content modifier. The next content modifier, nothing. There is nothing. Is empty. Okay, I have no idea.
In the above flow, I mean, we can directly join it from modifier.
Sorry. Hmm?
In the flow, I mean, earlier we have content modifier 2 to content modifier 4, I guess. That we actually, connected to join operator.
Yeah.
Now I think you directly give it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I just removed it. Is
Okay.
empty, that is
Okay.
empty content modifier, just removed it.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually
So,
checking like why we need that for when we can directly give it from content modifier to.
yeah, yeah, we can. Yeah, that's why I just removed that one. And when it comes to again branch 2, in the branch 2 we are using request reply. Okay, so in this request reply we connected to success factor system. Mm, in the success factor system we are connected to per personnel. Then we are getting some personal information of the employee. Okay, so that employee will goes to content modifier 3. Okay, so in the content modifier 3, if you look at, so in the body here also nothing is there in the body. So finally, what message will goes to the join step here? The personal information, right? Personal information of the employee, that will goes to the join condition. And in the content modifier we have seen this message will goes, right? These two will be uh, joining here. Okay, when it comes to here, these two will be joining here. Then why we are using join here? Because it it uses the it just joining the branches. Okay, so what we'll do is it will just blindly, this is the one message, right? It will not combine, it will just join whatever it is there. Okay, so it doesn't care about whether it is in XML format or whether it is in a different format or the plain text. It doesn't bother about the join condition. It's just joining. It is just joining the branches. Okay, but the actual aggregation rules will checked by the gather step. So therefore first use the join. Okay, actually here there is a dependency. This is There is a gap here. Actually when you use the gather step has to take care about the join as well. Okay, but sometimes when you have this kind of formats, one data you are extracting from success factors, another type of data you have, when you deal with the different XML two different XML messages, then mm, we are using the join step. So that then the gather, after that gather step. Okay, so since we don't use this modifier, let's remove this one. Okay, so once you remove this, then you can see simply branch 1 and branch 2. Okay, so when you use the join, after the join, then we are using the gather step. So in the gather step, what we are doing here, XML different format. You can use combine step because that is not the same format, right? It's a different format. Of course, it is an XML, but different format. So we use the combine. Okay, in the gather. Then we are connecting to the main. Just click on deploy and see the output. We got an error. Anyone can guess what could be the reason that getting an error? So the error is showing the markup in the document following the root element must be well formed. Must be well formed. So that means it is not well formed in the current message. So the parse error at row and column 32 markup in the document rule must be well formed.
Could it be during when we were combining uh, the first content modifiers body with the
Mhm.
second one?
Yeah, so there the second message is the node list is not there, right?
Yep.
And off we have node list. If you look at here, the students, it is ended with here, but it's supposed to be ended. It's supposed to be end by end of the message, right? So it should be here. Okay, so that then it will be the uh, correct message. Okay, because we are treating this as one message in the content modifier. As we said here, that is not the right XML. Okay, so in order to capture the students at the end, what has to be done here? What has to be done here? So here.
In in the content modifier too, we have to add the node list.
Content modifier too. Yeah, you have to add the node list, but there is no scope to add the node list, right?
Yep.
The node list is coming with the indert body,
Oh, okay, okay.
because here indert body coming. I
Mm.
just added only single node only here.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Uh, so here I added a single node, but the node list coming with the previous message.
yeah. But the end of it, can't we add it here? Like at the end, couldn't we add the node list?
If you
I mean,
want,
ending
if you want
ending
to
tag.
add, then it will become a two, no?
Mm,
The previous message one comes and another, that is not correct. So
okay.
there are two options here. One is we can remove from the original message, or we need to just use the filter step as well. By using the filter step, you can remove the node list. Okay, let's say let it be the source message, and now we can use the filter step here. So therefore we can remove the node list, right? Then we will add it in the content modifier. So how we can do the filter? Use the filter step. Go to content modifier, use filter, right? Okay. So in the filter, you should write. So you can do slash student slash student. Okay, you filter node list. Then when it comes to the content modifier, you can write simply. Okay. So what do you want here? So when it comes to the inert body, it will be, you know, you can write this one as well, XML version as well. So use XML version, then you can say the node list. So use the node list, right? Then we said dollar in that body. So what is the previous message that comes without node list? Now we are adding one more node. Okay. So once one more node finish, then we can finish with the node list.
But here, I mean, yeah, maybe I'm a bit confused. Oh, yeah, you're closing it. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
so this is more dynamic. So in the real time also you will do like this. So that because we can't able to edit in the source message, we never know what type of source message it will maintain because that comes from the sender system. So once you do the filter, then we will remove the node list. Automatically it will remove because based on the filter step, the functionality is to send the only the nodes. Okay. Then you can add whatever the nodes you want, the new nodes, and combining with the then you can use the nodes. Maybe if you want the different nodes here, you can add instead of students. Let's say you want a school here. Okay, yesterday also I told you an example, right? Let's say school. Okay, then here you can say school. Mhm. So all the students nodes will be captured, will generated within the XML tree of school. Mm. So this is how the message will be sent. Right. Okay. Mm, that's it. You understand here? It's clear now? Using the filter just to remove the node list. Why? Because we want to add one more node in the content modifier. Okay. Then in the content modifier, you added one more node under the in that body. So we have created the new tree school. Under that we added the students. Okay, that is one message. Then you are joining that one. And by using request reply anyway we'll get it per personal, so that is also joining. So both we are using gather step to use this XML different format combine. So now let's save as. So you just save this. Now you click on deploy. Okay, so now it is completed. So the message verify is completed. Now let's go to mail and check this mail. Gather step. If you see the gather step, what is the message one is started per personal? Why the message one is started per personal? Because in the branch first we are given this one, right? Why the message per personal is showing first?
Because it came from the previous step.
Yeah. But first branch is this one only, no? But why is showing? Because in the sequential multicasting, we have given sequential order is 1. I mean the first sequential order is branch 2. So therefore it is showing this one. And the second sequential order is showing branch 3. So therefore the second message will comes this one. Okay. So based on the sequential order, it is order the messages here. Okay. So that is why here per personal is comes first. Okay, so all the data of per personal that is appeared here. Then on the message 2, the second message, which is the school details. So that comes school, student ID, student, ID number 1, 12, and we have added in the content modifier the last one. That is also comes up here. So the total message will be like this. Okay. So this is how we can use the gather step. Okay. So now any doubts on this from anyone? Is it clear? Just have a look at again the message. The multi-map colon message 1, right? And the multi-map colon message 2. These two are not given by ourselves. This is created by which step? This is created by the gather step. Okay, that is called the aggregation strategy. Aggregation strategy means how the message uh, that has to be generated in order to go into the next step. Okay, so this message you can use further into the in the multi-map messages as well. Okay. Then anyway, whatever the data that we have extracting from the systems, that data will be specified here and it followed with this code. Okay. So now I think it's clear, right? So now a small task for you. Um, Now I am using the XML different format, right? So instead of you use the same iFlow, right? Instead of using here manually filter and content modifier, use one more request reply and try to get the EMP job entity. Okay, so then you can get the both as the same format. Okay, then try to use XML same format and try to use combine a text path. Okay, so just try to add the per personal into the EMP job. Just give the XPath, then try to see that. Okay, try to do this exercise. We just use this as a copy. Yeah. So now let's use the router step here. This is also again an important one. Okay. So this router, the router is basically using this router step based on the conditional formatting. I mean conditional processing. So if the department ID equal to so and so, then send those records or messages to if the condition will meet. If the condition will not meet, then go for the next route. Okay. If that route not satisfied, and go for the default route. So like that. So like that, you can create a number of routes by using the based on the conditional routing. Okay. So let's look at the router step. we can use this side flow. We can edit further. So now let's use the router. So what is the objective of the router? Wherever you want it to use based on the conditional routing, you can use the condition there. Then it can be sent. Okay, but make sure that whatever the message that comes, it should be the XML message only. Of course, every message should be in XML format, but this routing it has to be processed only the XML format because the condition that you had applied that has to be understood based on the XPath. So now here, okay, so scheduler, then the content modifier, nothing is there, it's a empty one. Then we have the request apply. By using the request apply, what type of data we are getting? We are getting EMP job. We are getting EMP job, right? So let me select the data. We are expecting a EMP job, right? So in the filter, let's select a division. Okay. So if the division equal to under this division GPO 04000. So under this division, whatever the employees are there, those employees will be extracted. Okay. Then now we are using the router API. So in the router, you are taking the router one. In the router one, what you are mentioning here, expression type is XML, right? So the, this is not correct. So we'll imagine that you get the EMP job. Okay. So once you are expecting the EMP job, how the EMP job looks like? So the EMP job will be mm, so let's see, EMP job will be like this, right? So slash EMP job, let's say user ID. Okay. So you can give relative paths also like double slash user ID, user ID equal to 127.6, put in. Okay. So if the user ID is equal to 12766, if you apply this condition, then you know, if this condition will satisfy from the source message, then whatever the data that is there, that will be through this routed through this router. I mean, uh, from this branch, the data will goes into the next step. Okay, then it will come to arrive here. And in the router number 2, you can give another condition. In the router number 2, he has mentioned like a default route. Let's say we can give one more condition. What condition will give? We can give this condition department. Okay. So in the department, okay, right. Is the department. This is router number 2. Let's create a one more router. Okay. So this router, what you are saying is creating router number 3. In the router number 3, we can make it a default route. Okay. So now if you see, there are 3 routes. There are 3 routes I have created here. So if you see, there are 3 routes I have created. Okay. So here we are using the router and by making 3 router steps, right? So if you look at the and this is also follows in the orders wise, order 1, 2, 3 like that. So the router number 1, what was the condition we have given here? If the user ID, okay. So if you look at, there are in the source message there will be 1,000 nodes are there, like 1,000 records are there. Out of one, it will check all 1,000 records. If any record matches this condition, okay. So each record will have this kind of a message, right? emp job, okay. So this kind of message, so whichever the condition that will check, it will check that whether it satisfies or not. So we have given the user id equal to 12766. So if the node is there in the source message, then uh, then whatever that node record, that whatever the record, that will goes to this router. Okay, this is a condition expression. And the second router, we have given a different condition. There we have given user ID, but here we given department. So here we see in double slash department equal to the department number. So whatever the nodes or the records that are satisfying, then those uh, nodes will go through this router. Okay. Then in the router number 3, I just make it a default route, and the default route I stopped at the end event. So if any other record comes, that will be stopped, that will be dropped at this step, because I have given just an end event. Okay. So like this, you can make it up to how many routers? I mean, technically you can just create a multiple, but as a process wise, up to 6 routers you can design it. Okay. So the purpose of router is not more than that, because no use as well. Any
Hello,
questions on
Kumar.
routers?
Hello, Kumar.
Yeah.
Hello, Kumar. This is Rajesh.
Hi, Rajesh.
Hello. Hi. I need small clarification.
Yeah.
So router is nothing but just to have to condition-based routing. I mean, condition-based iFlow. I think you have to follow that. I mean, message. You have to form the message.
So you mean that the router, yes. So what we have given here is the based on the conditional expression. So based on the conditional expression, the data will be flow into the further steps. Okay.
So actually, in AppUpper, actually you have to put that where condition. We have to use a lot of conditions in that. So here you have to directly router only. You have to give the different conditions. That's only the difference only.
Okay. So what is your question here?
Actually, in ABAP, we have to use in select query. Within that select query, you have to use the where condition is there. Within the where condition, you have to put some conditions. So based on the conditions only, you have to retrieve the records from that database. So like that, you have to use in that router.
Like that we have to use here.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. Like that.
Okay, the thinking. No, not that way. So we will use this way. Why we want to use this way? This is a content-based routing. So whatever the
Okay.
content that is coming from the source, you are just making a router. Okay. So what you are
Okay.
saying is a self statement that for extracting the data. For example,
Yes, yes, yes.
we have used a success factors adapter. Okay. So in
Yeah,
the success
yeah.
factors adapter, if you see in the processing, we have selected the fields from the table or from the entity. Then we have given the the filter condition. In the filter
Yes,
condition, what you exactly are saying, like where division equal to so and so, or where employee equal to so and so, or where getting between so and so, between the, you can give any type of the condition here, like a where
yes, yes,
condition.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that you will give it here while extracting the query. Okay. So this is what you are
Okay.
saying, select statement, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah.
Dollar select equal to start. Okay, that is fine. That
So
we will
I
anyway
think
given.
okay, we have that already filter is there. So what is the purpose for that router?
Okay, this is good
Filter
question.
also you have to use the conditions.
Yeah. So filter, and if you compare with filter and router, what filter
Okay.
will does? What?
You have to give some expressions. I mean, any conditions less than, greater than, whatever it may be, you have to use in that. And then based on the conditions, you have to retrieve the
Yeah.
message.
Whatever you apply, but it will goes to the same direction. I mean the same router, same route it will
Okay.
go, right?
Okay.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
example, if you are given a different filter value and you wanted to make it a different route, it cannot
Okay.
be created, right? But
Yeah.
whereas in the router, it will goes into the based on the route. Okay. So
Okay.
it is like a different routes. If people who wanted to go this route, it will catch that train, right? Same way here.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
records which are belongs to that route, those records will
Okay.
go to that route. And if any other records which will go to the based on the here the condition will drive those records. Okay.
Okay.
So here in
Okay.
this example, we have given user ID equal to 12766. So
Yes.
wherever
Yes.
the record, the one of the field will matches this condition, then that will goes to that route, this route. Okay,
Okay.
route number one.
Okay.
In
Okay.
the route number two, if any record will matches with the department
Okay.
ID, then
Okay.
those records will goes to the route number two. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
route number three will goes on not satisfied on the above two. Okay, if any other
Okay.
records will comes, all the records will goes to the route number three because we made it a default route. Okay,
Okay.
the
Okay. Okay. Okay.
default route means none of the above. So if above conditions are not satisfied, I mean not
Okay.
satisfied means above conditions, above routes are not matches, and those records
Okay.
will go to the route number three. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
like that we
Okay.
can make it 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So
So, okay.
filter
Here also we have to
and
check that expressions, but we have to deviate the different routes. So that's why we have to use the router, I think here.
correct. You got the
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. Tell me.
So
Tell me.
okay. So by filter and router is the two different purposes. Okay. Filter will
Okay.
use the conditions, but it will goes into the same route and it will
Yeah.
be processed. But here it will create different routes based on the condition. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
in the real time, this is also very useful in the iFlow because
Okay.
every time wherever you wanted to like a if else, right? We
Yes.
remembered
Yes.
if
Yes.
else condition.
Yes.
That if else condition will applies to this router. Okay, so
Okay. Okay.
this if this step goes this route, if not goes this route, so you can make it for that purpose. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
I believe this conditional routing is much more useful in the inbounds that come from like
Exactly, yeah. So even yeah, even inbound or when you do the custom interfaces, no,
yeah.
so much more useful because if we want to drive the data based on the two different routes. Let's say if the any employee record, okay, so if the employee record wanted to use in the delta processing, if the record is already uh, 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 this is if any record comes with the new records like by using the higher action, those records will go to the route number one, and if already existing employees then goes to the route number two. If you come up with some business logic for that situation, you can use router. So many situations you can use it. Okay. Mm, and much more useful, so you can practice more and more. Okay, by writing here, you just simply looks good, but you practice, then you can get many more errors. Okay, so now let's look at this. Yeah, anyone has any question?
How do we how was the error handling used?
Okay, so here on the above there is a one checkbox right here. This is not that much useful. Still, they are preparing. Their SAP wanted to give the new features here. So here the meaning is if, for example, you have given the wrong condition. When you given the wrong condition, obviously it will throw in an error, right? So in that case, if you just check this, okay, so this exception error will be notified through email. Okay, for example, you wanted to notify this error through through specific people what was the issue at this point, then this will throw an error. Okay, so if you wanted to know this exception error handling means it will not handle any fixing the errors. It will just show the exception, the message, the exception message, what could be the reason that will be notified. Okay, for
Okay.
that. And here, and that too, that is also, if you see in this message, sender channel either IDOC or SOAP adapter. Okay, then only the exception message will be stored. Okay, so basically it shows just exception message only when we're given the wrong message. Okay, so now what we're doing here, so we are extracting the EMP job from the, we are extracting the records from EMP job, and given the where condition is the division ID, right? So if the division ID is having 50 or 60 records, those records will come up. So now here we are given the router. So based on the router, it will be processed to the different routes. Okay. So now let's go to the one by one route. So in the route number one, what we have given condition? The condition is user ID is 127.6, right? So if you wanted to process further processing based on those records, you can use those content modifier. Okay. Mm, okay. So let's try to modify those into the different requirement. Then we can get through the mail.
Kumar, do we need content modifier 2 here?
Try to see this. So in the content modifier 2, what exactly it is processing? In the content modifier 2, it is just mentioned the date as a constant, and the constant step has taken this one, and properties, message bodies. So this is not required. And in the content modifier 4, what exactly it is doing? In the content property body. In the body, they mentioned some message here below are the active employees as on date. In the body, okay.
We could use the constant directly in the message header of this particular content modifier itself, right? We could define it here.
Yeah, in the header.
Okay.
Yeah, you can define it here.
Okay.
I'm just seeing this message. So what will happen is just to try to get the get the date which is storing in the header and followed with the incoming message, right? So the incoming message will apply here. The date you can mention here, and or the best option is when using the first content modifier, whatever the header or properties you can define at one place. So the
For the
first content
complete
modifier for
flow
the
itself, we
complete
can
iFlow.
define there. Okay.
Exactly. So for the complete iFlow, you can define all the header or all the properties in one place. So therefore, in the future going forward, if you want to refer, you can refer the one place, right? Instead of going where are we defined and all. Because in the future, let's say for example, there will be 50 properties. There will be 20 header parameters you will be defined. Better to define at one place. Okay. So here I will define all header properties here. So here inside date. So date maybe you can use the expression as well, right? So in the expression you can give them like this. Okay. So if you don't want if you don't want that one, dd mm, y1. Okay. You can give like this also. So you're given the expression, the date, and if you want to use the file name, you can use the file name as well. Okay. So in the file name, you can use. Okay, we will do it later. So let's look at this one. So in the go to the content modifier, you can just say that in message. mm, the message. So that is route number one. So whatever the active employee, just given the employees, that will goes to the mail. Okay. So now let's look at the next content modifier. In the route number two, what we have decided, to select the department, right? So whatever the records are there under this department, those will goes to the route number two. In the route number two, what we have given here, anything in there? Nothing. We just remove this. And in the content modifier do, you wanted to add any requirement, you can add it here. Okay. So below the active, we are saying inactive now. Below are the employees who are under department, as on, today. We are taking today's date, right? As on today. Okay. So in the file name, you wanted to create a department ID. Just give the constant. Okay. You want to use the mail. You want to use the subject line. You can use dollar. You can change employees from department dollar open brackets dot header now. Okay. So we are just giving a headers dynamically, because if you wanted to modify it, you don't need to modify it here. Dynamically, you can modify later there, right? So you can use those sections. So going forward, we will have more and more focus on these dynamic allocation. Okay. So At one place you define everything, header and properties. There you will call dynamically. In different views, we can use this header and properties. Okay. Okay. At this moment, I've used like this. Okay. So just click and save. Everyone is clear about this iFlow? Any doubt or questions? So you're clear about what output will come it, right? So in the route number one, the one employee ID we have given. So if that one employee is there, that would be fine. The record will come to through router. If there is no record with that employee ID, then no records will be pop up. And in the second router, we have given the department. So if any records are matches with the department, that will comes to the mails. Okay. So we are expecting 2 emails. And the router number 3, we stopped at that. We stopped at router. Even though records are there, those are dropping because I use end event. So it will be dropped at this place. Okay. Now let's click on the deploy and look at the iFlow of the output of this iFlow. Validation failed. Why? Okay. That is the problem. We have
We need to uncheck it.
yeah. This is okay. So the message is completed. Now let's check the mail. And there were no mails. Okay, so I just modified them to address. Yeah. Okay. So now it is completed. If you see that below, sorry, below are the active employees as and today. So we are given the date, right? So if you give it in the body section, we have updated the body like this: employee as and today date, header dot date. So what is the header date? As a today date. So the employee ID 12766 matches in the router, right? So in the router, we have given the root number 1. So in the root number 1, we have given this user ID, right? So that has pop up user ID that we have selected, that has come. Okay. So wherever the user ID is matching, the data is appear. Let's look at the other email. Why only one email we have got? What about the other one? There will be no employee IDs. So we are given the root number 2, right? In the root number 2, we have selected this condition: / department equal to so and so. Okay, here user ID we have given, here department we have given. But looks like we got the active employee in the job, right? We have not received the other email. Okay, can you see? Can you check whether really there will be no records, or If the records are there, why it is not sending to email, why we are not getting the data? Okay, so this, please check this point as well. Okay, so I am stopping here. Tomorrow we'll continue from this step. So two tasks for you today. One is we discussed, right? Just add a success factors another entity in the gather step and combine with the XPath. That is one task. And the second task is check the router number 2 whether there will be no records or there is a records. How do you check? How do you ensure that there will be no records? How do we ensure that there is an error? Okay, so please check these points. Tomorrow we'll continue from this point. Okay, so I'm stopping here and we'll continue from this tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, so please continue from this point to check that. Okay. How do you check that? First, you can see how many records are coming from the success factor system. Then you match it. Simple. You can calculate easy. Okay. Okay, then good. So thanks for that. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Rajesh. Sorry, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.